In this lesson, we will take an introductory look at the coordinate plane shown here. Now this plane goes by many names, including the rectangular coordinate system, the xy coordinate system, and the xy coordinate plane, to name a few. Now this plane is comprised of two axes, a horizontal axis called the x-axis that extends forever in both directions, and a vertical axis called the y-axis. Now the point where the two axes intersect is called the origin. Now an important feature of the coordinate plane is that every point in this plane has a unique pair of coordinates that defines its location. So, for example, the location of this point is defined by the coordinates 5, 3. The first number here is called the x-coordinate, and the second number is called the y-coordinate. The x-coordinate tells us the horizontal distance along the x-axis that we must travel from the origin in order to get to a given point. For this particular point, we must travel 5 units in the positive direction. Now the y-coordinate tells us the vertical distance we must travel. For this point, we must travel 3 units in the positive direction. Okay, now let's examine another point. Beginning from the origin, we must travel along the x-axis a distance of 4 units in the negative direction. From here, we must travel 2 units vertically in the positive direction. So the x-coordinate of this point will be -4, since we traveled 4 units in the negative direction, and the y-coordinate will be 2, since we traveled vertically in the positive direction for a distance of 2 units. So this particular point has the coordinates -4, 2. Okay, now let's find the location of the point -1, -5. The x-coordinate here is -1, so starting from the origin, we will first travel in the negative direction along the x-axis for a distance of 1 unit. The y-coordinate of this point is -5, so we will now travel vertically in the negative direction for a distance of 5 units. So our point is right here. This point has the coordinates -1, -5. Okay, what about the coordinates of this point? Well, beginning at the origin, we must travel 2 units along the x-axis in the positive direction, so the x-coordinate here is 2. And from here, we need not move up or down since the point is already on the x-axis. So the y-coordinate of this point is 0. Okay, what about the coordinates of this point? Well, the x-coordinate here will be 0, since we don't need to travel any horizontal distance from the origin. The y-coordinate will be 4, since we must travel vertically a distance of 4 units in the positive direction. Finally, the coordinates of the origin must be 0, 0. Okay, one last thing. Notice that the x and y axes divide the plane into 4 regions known as quadrants. This region is called quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, then quadrant 3, and finally quadrant 4. Okay, let's summarize. In this lesson, we learned that every point in the coordinate plane is defined by a unique ordered pair of numbers, x and y.